No. Good morning. I have a day in the life coming at you guys today, and I'm getting set to head out and do some more pressure washing. The kids are super excited because they're going with it.
4th of July, Mom.
Yep, 4th of July, Joe. Red, white, and blue crunch cereal. Warren is making us some eggs right now, and yeah, that's kind of the day. We've just got a lot of stuff. We have our big fireworks party tomorrow, so just kind of getting some things done around the house, and a little bit of cooking today. Later, I'm going to be running the chicken nachos through the Instant Pot, so I'll be just doing kind of batch after batch after batch of that. Looks like my egg is ready here, so I'm going to sit down and eat that first before getting outside. Okay, you may remember, let's see, where's the handle? Right there. A few years back, I bought a pressure washer at a garage sale for 20 bucks. They wanted 30. I talked them down to 20. I bought it, came home, tried and tried and tried and tried, and I could not get that to get any pressure. I can't. This is not wanting to go over the lip very well. There we go. Couldn't get any pressure. So anyway, that one ended up in the dumpster. There we go. And now, I think it was this last winter, Warren bought this pressure washer. And he got this at Tractor Supply. Clean machine, brushless electric. Anyway, it worked fantastic. So I'm going to go out here working on another part of the north side of the house. All right, well, this is a side that I already did the other day. Maybe if you guys follow along on Instagram, you might have seen that. Peter and I were kind of working over here and just showing the difference, because it is so, Peter, not yet. It is so satisfying to just watch the dirt and the grime just pour away. And like the concrete down there, that was literally just green, especially as you got into the corner here where it gets, you can tell it gets more shade there than over here. And that concrete was just green, as was the downspout. And now it's not green. And then here's the concrete too. You can see this is the part that we've already pressure washed, and then you come over here and you can just see just the darkening. You can just see right there. Pressure washed, not pressure washed. It's amazing how much like mildew, or I don't know if that's like a, I don't know. I don't think you'd call that mildew, because mildew's black, right? This must just be some sort of like lichen or something like that that just grows. Anyway, okay, let's get to this. Looks like Peter is excited to get going on this. I wanted to do, oh, you see some lichen right there? Okay.
Watch how satisfying this is. So see, there's that
the green.
Dark, and then the good stuff. Watch. Look how clean that is now.
I know. I love it. I can't believe that we've waited this long. Spot right there, yep. So one thing with pressure washers is that kids really find it to be pretty fun, but they also peter out. So what we're doing is we're each taking a square on the patio. So I just did a square, now Maria's doing a square, and that also frees me up. I can come in and I'm going to get the first batch of chicken nachos going in the Instant Pot. So here's what I have going for the chicken and black bean nachos. You should have already seen that video where I really walked you through it step by step. But you guys, this is so simple. You take really as much chicken as you want. Last time I used 3.5 pounds. This time I have just about 5 pounds. I'm going to put all 5 pounds into my pressure cooker here. I cut up these orange and yellow peppers because I had them. Last time I used red and green. And I also have red and green peppers here from the freezer. I also have frozen corn, and I have salsa, and I have the black beans in the pantry. You put all of those ingredients. You don't need any other seasonings, no salt, no pepper, no chili powder, cumin, nothing else. Set it in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to go 25 minutes on high, and then we'll shred it up, put it into a crock pot, and we'll just keep cycling through until I have what I think is going to be enough. Black beans going in. Kind of got to give it a good hard shake to get them all out.
Just with my hands?
Yep. So this batch, I'm going to do all the orange and yellow peppers, and then that'll give the green and red peppers a little time to thaw, and next batch I'll add in some green and red peppers. Salsa going in, whole jar. We're going to give that a good shake. Okay, and I'm going to add just a smidge of water to the jar.
Flippy, flippy, flippies. Flippy, flippy, flippies. Flippy, flip, flippies. Flippy. Oh, they're warm. I'm on the boot dryer.
Pick this up, or you hold it. Oh, Maria's redoing?
I'm supposed to be videoing this.
Okay, and one last here. I hope this works. All right, now we have to put the handle on. Let's see, that is bigger than I thought it would be. Well, let's hope it works. Yeah, so it says handle assembly, press the spring-loaded buttons.
Alright, Mom, I think I got it. I think I got some.
Is it still on?
Huh?
Is the red light still on?
Uh-huh.
All right,
I'm
well, as
gonna
long as...
film you washing dishes.
Okay. It's my dishes day, and whenever it's my dishes day, I like to get the dishes done as soon as I see there's dishes there, so they don't all pile up till 9 o'clock at night. I wasn't thinking I was going to film this whole thing because I did just share this with you guys, but here I am filming. Just put in the corn, and now I'm going to get this lid on, hopefully better than, look at that. Last time I was a disaster putting the lid on. Okay, I set it to sealing. I have the lid closed. Pressure cook, pressure level. We're going to go all the way to high. Back to pressure cook, and 25 minutes. And that's it. Okay, we're going to let that go. I'm going to get back out to pressure washing. Yeah, we did too. Thanks for the snacks. All right, well, my lights from last year were no longer working, so we picked up, actually Warren bought these for my birthday. We're just now finally getting them up. Sam's helping me out with this. So I would say at least 2. Whoops, you're going the wrong way. Yep. Yeah. Yep, I would say right there. And does it hold it there, or is it going to slip through?
It'll hold it.
Okay. Perfect. So the summertime patio mood lighting installation came to an end because we realized that we needed 4 strands and not just 3 strands. So we're on the phone, or at least Sam is trying to contact Warren to see if maybe before he gets back home he could pick up another strand of lights. Yeah, that's it. So back to pressure washing. Okay, well, it is, I think it's got to be probably just about 2 o'clock by now. And I did get the whole rest of the north side of the house completely done. I did the gutter, and I did mostly the soffit, but just really got the siding clean. I don't know how it is. Ugh, worm on my arm. I don't know how it is where you are, where you live or whatever, but anyway, here the north side of the house just does not get enough of that direct sunlight, and so especially anywhere where there's like a plant growing or something, you end up getting that moss starting to grow on the side of the house. So really took care of that. I did trim back these, I think those are called something like, what are these? They're a type of euonymus, but sarcoma, or that doesn't sound right because that sounds like cancer. I'm not sure. I did trim back this shrub so that you could mow closer up to it, but I see I should have done back by the siding too, and that would help to keep the moss from growing on it. So anyway, just absolutely so happy with how this has turned out. We have 12 squares left on the concrete here on the patio to do. And I mean, you can see done and not done. The pressure washers, I don't know. There is something so satisfying about just blowing all of that green moss that's growing on the concrete. It's just so satisfying to get that down. Still haven't dealt with the lights. We were trying to get hold of Warren and we couldn't, and now he's home, so we didn't get another strand of lights. But what I need to do is go in and just wash up my arms here. I need to get another batch of the chicken nachos going. I know that a lot of people share the tip of putting your cooked chicken breast into your KitchenAid and then turning it on and letting it shred that way. Quite honestly, I just am not I'm not a super fan of that. So what I did here is just scoop out most of the chicken here, and I put it in my crock pot, and then I just go through with my kitchen shears. It's kind of hard just one-handed like this, but I go through and I just kind of chop it up that way, and I think this works so much better. You get little chunks rather than just a whole bunch of stringy chicken, and yeah, it just works. Just works really well. I'm going to try not to clip my bag though, so I'm going to put the camera down and keep doing this. Then I'll put in the rest of the liquid, and I'm going to do up another batch because my goal is to get this completely full. All right, well, this is the area that we do like to swim, and then also Warren has his suction boxes here, and so when the lily pads start to get thick, he needs to get rid of them. So he's got a couple tools. Oh, those are slippery. Yep. Oh my gosh, don't slip and fall. All right, so what tools do you have? He's got this here.
That's called a weed rake, and you toss it out hanging onto the end of the handle, and you pull it in short spurts, and it'll cut the weeds and pull them right in. Works really well. And then this triangular contraption, that's called a weed razor, and that does a great job at cutting them. You throw it out and pull it in short bursts to cut the weeds, but it doesn't really bring the weeds in. So you have to kind of go out with a pitchfork and try to work them in. I could get the rowboat out. See, they're all cut. You just got to be in closer where I can get to them.
Right.
Yep. Mom's right. We'll have to bring the tractor down and pick up all our piles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely working.
Oh yeah, it's definitely working.
Just takes time, a lot of time.
Right.
So you guys remember to stand on the end of the rope.
Stand on the end of the rope?
Yep.
Okay.
and then you want to throw it like this. Peter was throwing it like that.
Oh boy.
And I said, no, I'm pretty sure it goes like this. It seems to pull the best then.
Okay.
So you aim at your pile of weeds, throw it out there. You let it go to the bottom, and you pull it. Stand back, Peter, or you're going to get a fist in the face. So as it's coming in those short spurts, you can see those weeds are cut.
Yeah, now they're all cut. You can see all their stems floating.
This doesn't bring the weeds in real well, but it does cut them well. So then you'll have to go out with a pitchfork and get them. I was thinking too about maybe I could engineer a rake on the front of the John boat and put the toy motor on it and kind of run around and
Yep.
I'm gonna pull this way, so. All right, I'll slow down just for you.
Well, I'm like, you're telling me how razor sharp it is.
It is really sharp. Now, according to the ad, you're supposed to be wearing a bikini while doing this.
Well, where's your kini?
Well, see, I was hoping that I could get you to do this. But
Oh,
no
goodness.
such luck.
How about you, Peter? Where's your bikini? No bikini for you either.
And you really do have to stand on the end of the rope.
Yeah.
The one time I didn't, and the rope ended up out there a ways.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of a neat, simple tool.
But yeah, it doesn't really, it cuts, but it doesn't really bring a lot of them, does
It
it?
doesn't bring a lot of them in. It basically gets them all to the surface, and then you got to go after them.
Yeah.
You know, if you had a northeast wind,
Oh my
that
gosh.
would be the day to do this.
Yeah, of course today it's
You know, on a
fairly
nice hot
calm.
day, so maybe you'd want to wear your bikini, right?
exactly, Peter.
could
Do I
find
even
one.
have one? No.
Sure, we could find one.
Yeah. So it's about 4:30 now, and Warren, you can see maybe some weed piles over there in the background. Warren and Peter and Sam were working on that for a while, and then Warren and Peter wanted to take me down there to show me how it was actually looking, and like what they ended up getting done. I finished up with the patio, although I don't have everything put away yet, so I do need to get back there. But of course, when we came down to look at the pond situation, I saw that there are, of course, weeds in my garden. There's always weeds down here. It just seems like, even with my weed guard fabric, because it is so many years old, that there's a lot of openings and holes in it, and the weeds just come up through there. So I started weeding, and then I thought maybe I would give you guys a little tour. So it's July 1st. I feel like everything is pretty slow to get started this year. So I will give you guys kind of like a peek here. So you may remember here from my last garden tours, this whole section of the garden, the weed barrier fabric had completely blown off, and we did kind of smooth it out and roll it up, and I may bring it down and put it between the rows. It's just has not been high priority yet. I did run a cultivator, just a hand, like you, I don't know, I guess we call it the hand cultivator. It's kind of like this old antique thing. It was Warren's parents'. I did work that through the garden earlier this week to try to knock down the weeds in the walkway here. I mean, there's still weeds. I mean, I could have every weed and gone, and tomorrow it would look like this again. So anyway, here are the green beans. This is the first row of green beans that I planted, and I think I planted those on June, let's see. So the plants over there I planted June 9th. And then the seeds down here, I think I might have planted this first row right here on June 10th, 11th, maybe like the 12th. Everything over in this part of the garden got planted somewhere between June 12th and June 14th. So it's just July 1st. So I have to keep reminding myself that this stuff has only been in the garden for 2 weeks. But this is the row of beans. I am just tickled with the germination. I can't remember what variety those are. This variety over here is called Bountiful Bush, and they had pretty good germination. Now, just as a little heads up on the germination with these, where it's a little bit, we kind of have like a bare spot here. Joseph was actually the one in charge of covering all of those with soil. So, and I wasn't babysitting him. I was just letting him do it, and how it happened is how it happened. Now, we have 3 different varieties of corn. So I have this variety right here, which I cannot remember. This variety here is called Early Golden Bantam. And then all of these rows of corn over here were planted about the 12th to the 14th, but probably on the earlier side. And everything over here was more like in the 14th, maybe the 15th. Anyway, I have like some Silver Queen, and I have some Jubilee, I think is what it's called. So the corn is coming up nicely. I have to get that obviously weeded again. I do have some volunteer dill popping up all over that I'm just letting it grow. I do have onions coming along pretty well, and then I have carrots. So this is the carrot seed tape. And you can see there's carrots popping up. There they are. So I do have carrots coming up. Oh, and even still some more that are still trying to germinate 2 weeks later here. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this part of the garden because it has only been in for 2 weeks. So Warren is going to be fertilizing the cranberries here. I can't remember what day this week he said. If I'm not mistaken, he said Wednesday. And he is going to be putting on a high nitrogen fertilizer. And I know that the beans and the corn would both like some high nitrogen fertilizer. So that's going to be good. I have a variety of tomatoes. I have Wisconsin 55s over there, which are looking good. I have some celebrities, I believe these are. I'd have to go look at the tag. I'm pretty sure they're celebrities. I also have, I think right there, those 3 are San Mar, which I think is Aroma. So happy about that. I used the fertilizer stick next to each one, and these were all looking pretty yellow, and now their leaves are actually thick and a nice deep blue-green, which is just what I'm going for. Peppers are growing. They're so tiny though. I mean, this is only at the very tip of that leaf right there. It's probably 6 to 7 inches tall. I do already have peppers growing on though, but there's just not much to the plants. And I don't know if this is dryness, if they're stressed from dryness, if they got nipped with a little frost, because we did have 2 June, I think there were 2 nights of June frost, and so they could have gotten nipped a little bit. But anyway, this one is looking good. It has a nice color to it. I have some jalapenos down here, very yellow leaves. I've got some little baby jalapenos down here though, and this one too has a little baby jalapeno growing. So hopefully I can get these, I can just get them to do something. A friend of mine had mentioned that she has been using, I think for a couple years now, worm castings. So she gets like a big 50-pound bag of worm castings, and then she puts about a half cup in the bottom of each, like anything that starts as that's a plant, not a seed, but the plants that she plants out. She puts about a half cup of the worm castings in the bottom of the hole, and she really thinks that that's a tremendous help with the plants getting a good start. So I was thinking maybe of ordering or seeing if I could find someplace local that has the worm castings and then just top dressing with that. I thought that would work out well. All right, I do have some zucchini. Again, the closer you get this direction, they are more yellow. And I'm not sure if it's from dryness, like I said. You know, maybe this end of the garden is just more dry than the center of it. But this zucchini is doing really well. I have some blossoms already, blossoms that have already fallen off. So I should be getting zucchini here in, it shouldn't be too long. The pumpkins, they're also on this far end. This would be what we would call the southwest corner of the garden. And I just feel like it's just too dry down here. So they're not doing that great. But now this one, a little further to the east, it's doing better. Here's the watermelon. You may remember from one of my last garden updates, the watermelon was just a wilted mess of just super floppy little leaves. Nothing was happening to it, and I just kept fertilizing and kept watering and water and water and water, and this one looks the best. I had 4. 1 died off completely. Here's another one that's doing okay. And then this one is not. And this one isn't too bad. I would say the cantaloupe are the best looking things in my garden right now. The leaves are a nice shade of green. I wonder what this is like curling from. A couple of them have this curling. That's interesting. I'm going to have to look that up. And then the squash here I planted by seed. And they're actually doing pretty well too. I would say that the leaves are getting a little bit yellow in the veins. The veins of the leaves are a little yellow, and I have another squash there. So hopefully at some point I can give you guys a garden update, and there's actually going to be vegetables. And then I'm actually going to have a harvest. Did I even show you my cucumbers? Those are such a disappointment because those I planted from plants, and I have one that's doing okay. I think I had 6. 1 is doing okay. 3 died, and 2 are just sort of just barely hanging on, just barely. I just cleaned off my lens again. That's something that I need to do more often. I know that I had about 3 videos in a row where there was a blurry spot, which I'm pretty sure was a water droplet that dried on my camera lens, and a few of you mentioned in the comments, and I was like, I know, but there's nothing I can do about it once it's already, once I already have they already turned off the hose for me, great. There's nothing I can do except for try to be proactive when it comes to the lens. All right, well, let's take a look at the patio. So for as long as I've had this patio furniture, I've always had it centered over here, basically, like kind of by the window that looks out from the kitchen. But I thought since we get better shade over on this side, being that it's already like, I don't know, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, we're already starting, to get that evening shade over here. And so I just thought this might be a nicer spot for the furniture. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm totally feeling it yet. But anyway, this is what I did. Put the furniture over here. I did do the pressure washer on the tops of the table, and I absolutely love how it looks so clean, and yeah, it's got kind of like that sun bleached look, which I really like. Sam did the arms, and each arm looks a little different. So some of them have that kind of coloring, some have more of this like deeper black in it. This one looks like this. We are going to, at a later date, we will take the cushions off and do all of the wood. But that was not going to be for today. Not for today. I'll probably let myself get used to this for at least a couple weeks before I decide to make any changes. Like if I want to move it back around or something like that. The black table over there, I'm actually going to bring the chairs that we have down at the around the fire ring. I'm going to bring those up and put those around here, but not yet. We're going to have a fire yet tonight. Warren and Peter went fishing. Oh, and Joe, he went fishing too. And so then when they get back, we'll make a fire, have some pre-cooked brats. Those are so easy for the fire. You just stick them on a stick and all you have to do is just warm them up and get skin nice and brown, and you don't have to worry about them being undercooked, which is really nice. I absolutely love verbena. It's one of those flowers that like blooms in spurts. So right now, this one, the verbena, is really blooming, but like the little million bells here, not really doing much of anything. But then in a week, what's going to happen is all of the verbena is going to be done blooming, and then all of the millions bells will be blooming, and we'll get like that, all that purple and pink, which will be really, really pretty. I kind of wish that they all bloomed all the time at the same time, right? So you had all the variety of color, but anyway, this works too. And then, oh, we have a honeybee right there. And these are kind of like, I'm not sure if these are million bells or if these are just like a little mini petunia or what. But now the verbena is finally blooming in here too. Just about a week ago, the whole thing was covered in this gorgeous purple verbena. And the lavender ones weren't really blooming. And then the lavender ones went through a big bloom. And now it looks like the verbena are coming back. And the petunia just always looks beautiful. I've been trying to train this one to grow up a little bit higher to kind of fill in so it has that look of just like a complete ball of purple. And it's getting there. These are finally starting to branch out a little bit so that it'll get thick. It just takes some time. Well, I need to get down by the fire and hopefully there's a brat left for me, but Emily was just here and we were packing for Tristan, Cindy, Lori, and what's the other name underneath there? Mary. So your packages will be on its way.